The winter of '95 was the coldest ever for baseball. Stuck in the middle of a grueling labor dispute, the game was rapidly slipping away from the hearts and minds of the fans. For two of us, however, it was a bittersweet time, for we were about to embark on an incredible journey.
Phillies.
This Mike.
Yes, this Paul?
Yes, we finally made it, huh?
Hey, Paul, how are you?
It's my honor to inform you that you've been elected to the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's very nice, Paul. I appreciate that. It's one of the great moments of my life.
How do you feel now when they're going to say Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt?
Well, it gives you a little tingle.
And I think as we get closer to the ceremony in Cooperstown, the tingles will turn to, anxiety and nervousness and all those things you get at real special moments in your life.
Mike Schmidt was elected to the Hall of Fame his first year of eligibility. For me, it was almost a 30-year wait. After getting the call from Cooperstown, I quickly made some calls of my own, and the first one could only be to my mother, Genevieve Toots Ashburn, back in Tilden, Nebraska. I wasn't worried about me dying, I was worried about you dying.
In my 50th year of professional ball, that happened this year. And of course, it'll be nice to go in with Michael Jack, who I saw play every game he played in a Phillies uniform.
I'm not so sure he was awake during every game.
Very funny, Schmitty. I'll see you in Cooperstown.
Do we have to treat you any differently now?
Yeah, a lot of respect, a little respect.
Silver and bronze, the 1995 Phillies home companion. I'm your host, Rich Ashburn. By the end of March, the players and owners declared a ceasefire, and preparations were made for the '95 season. Like most teams, the Phillies had a ton of question marks. Who's healthy? What's the chemistry like? How will the fans respond to this mess? Who will make up the starting rotation? In search of answers, my good friend and colleague, Chris Wheeler, went right to the skipper, Jim Fregosi.
You had a little talk with the news media, and you went over your starting rotation for the season. What's it going to be?
Yeah, we do have one.
Don't do that!
One of the big questions in the spring was how all-star free agent Greg Jeffries would fit in with the ball club. I asked a few fellas to describe their initial impression in one word.
Obnoxious.
He's very obnoxious.
Am I going to have to kill these guys without even hearing the answer?
These are good. Caramel and peanut egg. I've had these. My wife got me one of these.
While you're filming this, I just want to put it on record.
Hey, man.
He's a
Wow.
I didn't like him when he was with the Mets or the Cardinals. And now, he's over here, so.
I hate this team. These guys are idiots. All of them.
He was going to fit in just fine with this bunch.
And back here in Clearwater with Phillies manager Jim Fregosi on the Jim Fregosi Show.
Well, are you going to do this show or not? Would you stop horsing around?
Lee Thomas had the tough task of filling the holes in the roster so the Phils could contend. And in his usual style, he found a group of tough veteran gamers. Guys like Charlie Hayes, Mariano Duncan, Dave Gallagher, Lenny Webster, and Gary Varsho. Guys who know how to play and have fun.
My man.
What are you on about?
Keep going.
No!
In getting ready for the season, it's not only important to have your baseball skills in order, it's also important to have the proper look. Mariano Duncan and the boys were busy putting the last-minute trimming on the spring.
Come on, Higgler. Naughty time! Naughty, get out of there! Hey, get out! Get out!
Bro, I'm from the city. I know what's up.
Well, you don't know what's going on, boy.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Where you from, Connecticut? Someplace like that?
Meanwhile, in another part of the clubhouse, a group of younger players were making their own fashion statement.
Jeff is also a member of the tattoo squad this year on the Phillies team. Jeff, why don't you turn around and show him your tattoo down there? Jeff expanded on his tattoo in addition to having a tremendous skin disease for about 2 weeks this spring.
Wall-to-wall tattoos. Honus Wagner must be spinning in his grave. In his attempt to stay immature forever, veteran reliever Larry Anderson decided to get in on the fun. And while Gramps didn't make the ball club, the Phillies decided to keep him in the family, sending him to Double-A Reading as the pitching coach.
What's it going to be?
Well, Wales, you got to understand one thing, how difficult it is at this time of spring to do a show with you. You are not a guy that anyone likes. You are not involved with this club, but you always try to get information out of us.
In the shortened spring, the team had to cram in as much baseball as possible. There was no time to look at prospects or bring people along slowly. The bad news came early as Tommy Green and Bobby Munoz were lost indefinitely. That's 2/5 of the projected starting rotation gone before the start of the season. Nevertheless, the Phils got their work in and headed north. A quick stop in Baltimore revealed a glance into the future.
Ground ball towards the middle, Ripken to his left.
Then it was back home as Cal Ripken paid a visit to the vet on his way to Cooperstown. This was to be the silver season at Veterans Stadium. Hard to believe they've been playing baseball at the Vet for 25 years. Seems like yesterday when a nervous rookie broadcaster took to the microphone to welcome the sellout crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to New Veterans Stadium at opening day.
Meanwhile, in the dugout that cold afternoon, another young man had his mind set on making history.
Leading off at shortstop, Larry Boa.
The thing about that is I was thinking about that the whole time down in Florida. I knew I was going to hit in the first inning, and I said, I hope nobody gets hit from Montreal. Nobody did get a hit, so I was the first guy up. And Bill Stoneman, he threw me a curveball.
Now the first hit, Veterans Stadium, and it goes justifiably to Larry Boa.
Before the game, the first ball had been delivered from a helicopter into the steady hands of Irish Mike Ryan. Irish would stick around and witness many more unusual first ball deliveries, a wacky event that would become a Veterans Stadium tradition. By far the most popular first ball act was Kite Man. The fun of it was you never knew where he'd land. To kick off the silver season at the Vet, Kite Man was brought back for an encore, and the new guys got a taste of all the fun. Just for good measure, they decided to test Mike Ryan again. And of course, Irish was steady as ever. They even let me throw out the first ball to Dutch Dalton. And the silver season was underway. Phils jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Then Heathcliff Slocum nailed down the win in his audition to be the team's closer. It's a great way to start the silver season.
The Phils win the home opener, celebrating the silver anniversary here at the Vet.
After all, the Phils were the reigning National League champs. And now they were about to face their first true test. It was a 4-game series against the tough Atlanta Braves, and the Phillies wanted to prove who was tougher.
Lenny Dykstra makes a great diving catch to retire the... Third strike, this game is over. Lopez heading for second, and he is out at second base.
The grip, hard ground ball. It's a double play ball. They got it.
Back, makes the catch against the fence. This one's over. The Phillies win it. Line drive into right field, a base hit, 1 run scores, here comes another run, Phillies lead 5-4 on a bases loaded 2-out single by Gary Varsho. Hard ground ball off Charlie Hayes to Duncan, back to Hayes. That's when you're going good.
Whoa!
chase that one. He struck him out, and another 1-2-3 save for Heathcliff Slocum.
The Phillies swept through Atlanta quicker than General William Tecumseh Sherman.
Unbelievable 4-game sweep of the Atlanta Braves in their home park.
First time they did that since 1973. The Phillies were not only playing sound fundamental baseball, but they were doing the little things that help you win ball games.
Here comes the runner home, the throw, safe. Great base running by Kevin Stocker. As soon as Martinez moved over to first, he broke and he stole home. That's an old high school play.
Kevin Stocker and Mickey Morandini had a little chat to discuss their success.
Just explain to me, Kevin, this reckless abandonment on the base pads. Where's it coming from, and why are you doing these types of things on the base pad?
Stocker, he's going to challenge Sheffield. He's saved on a great slide by Kevin Stocker, and now Pendleton has been ejected by Bill Hodge.
I knew that when Lenny got a base hit, I figured who was on deck, and my chances of scoring from second or from third with less than 2 outs were probably better from third with you coming up. So I figured I'd take the chance. You're left.
Tap to first base. Safe at home plate, and Stocker scores, and the Phillies lead.
And that was the game-winning hit. The next night, Mickey decided to do it all by himself.
Morandini puts a charge into one, way back. It's a home run for Morandini, and the Phillies lead 3-1 in the 13th.
I gotta know, and I think that people want to know. In the offseason, what have you done to get this power?
Mickey Morandini had his first child in the offseason, and therein lied the secret of his success.
15 and a half. Last year I measured him in at 13, and you're telling me it's baby food?
Absolutely. It is absolutely baby food. And now I'm starting the second Gerber food, which is the meat's starting now. So who knows where we go from here.
Swing and a fly ball into right field. Well hit, well hit. This ball's out of here. Home run, Mickey Morandini.
The 25 years of baseball at the Vet are filled with great memories and great performances. But undoubtedly, the greatest performer of them all was Mike Schmidt. Schmitty had all the tools: great balance, soft hands, a rifle arm, excellent speed. It was his bat that got him to Cooperstown, though. For more than 15 years, he terrorized opposing pitchers with his power and opposing managers with his consistency. You talk about memories. Many a fan can still see the high arc of a Mike Schmidt blast go deep into the Vet seats, accompanied by the timeless voice of Harry Kellis.
Line drive to deep left. This ball is out of here. Home run, Michael Jack Schmidt.
Hey, I even got in a few calls myself.
Long drive, goodbye. Oh! Oh, upper deck. Oh, brother. Oh, did he cream that one?
By the time his career ended, Michael had hit 265 home runs at the Vet. Can you guess which opponent hit the most?
If there was one ballpark that I enjoyed hitting in, it was right here at Vet Stadium. And I guess my record still stands to have the most home runs of any visiting player to this point. A lot of people didn't like me here in Vet Stadium, probably because I played so well, but there was a lot of fond memories here.
Fond memories are created by winning. And at the beginning of the season, the Phillies were winning early and often. So what was the secret of their success? Well, with a stabilized infield and a strong up-the-middle defense, it was Leather that got the Phillies flying.
Hard one, Hopper should be 2 to Morandini, 1 relay. Yes, they turned the double play.
Here's a hard ground ball, stopped by Charlie Hayes, picks himself up, throws to first, he got him.
Bouncing ball, shortstop. They'll get the out at second, they'll get the out at first, a double play.
Even the outfielders were getting in the act. your pitchers have confidence in the defense, they become more aggressive, and good things can happen. Take Curt Schilling, tough lefty David West, diamond in the rough Michael Mims, steady Paul Quantrill, and young phenom Tyler Green. And give them some confidence, anything can happen.
There goes, Dalton throws, got him, perfect throw by Darren Dalton.
Line drive caught by Hayes, throw to first, double play.
This is what you look for in a catcher. This guy right here. He's tough. He's intelligent.
Irish Mike Ryan knows a little something about catching, and he knows a good one when he sees one.
Boy, this is what every manager dreams about, is having a guy like this guy.
Dutch was a rock behind home plate in '95.
And he is thrown out. Unbelievable.
Swing ground ball, base hit, right field. Here comes Jeffries. He scores. It's 5-5, bottom half of the ninth inning.
The team was starting to revert to some of that old 1993 magic, when no game was over until the last out.
Fly ball center field, this one's over. Darren Lewis catches it, so what? The Phillies win it 6-5 here in the bottom half of the ninth inning.
He's the sexiest closer in the game.
It seems that whenever Lee Thomas needs a closer, he finds one. This year's unlikely hero was Heathcliff Slocum, a guy who had been bouncing around various bullpens for years. By the end of May, he was leading the league in saves and was named Pitcher of the Month. ESPN even chose him to do their Plays of the Week segment.
You guys need a host for Plays of the Week? Jeez, do I have to save everybody's butt this year? He caught that? No way.
Well hit to deep center field, and this ball is caught brilliantly by Gallagher.
No way. You gotta be kidding me.
Long run for Jeffries. Oh! David West wants it. Charlie Hayes caught it, though.
I guess it's like a short punch. That's the fighting Phillies for you.
Oh, no, that hit Charlton right in the face. He is down.
Right in the forehead.
How do you spell the league? Just watch.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Struck him out. Swing and a miss.
Maybe I'll help an old lady across the street. See ya.
As good as the Phillies bullpen was, sometimes a day off is in order. On May 26, Michael Mims threw the team's first complete game of the year.
A complete game, 2-hit shutout by rookie Michael Mims. And the Phils win 2-0.
The next night, it was Charlie Hayes to the rescue.
Line smash, center field, the ball game over.
Charlie's glove had helped to stabilize the infield, but his bat was helping out too. And then there was Tyler Green. On May 30th, he dominated the Dodgers.
Tyler Green has pitched his first major league shutout as the Phils down the Dodgers 5-0 here at Veterans Stadium.
June 1st was a beautiful sunny day in South Philadelphia. A perfect day for baseball and a perfect day for the Phillies to make history.
Fastball, a line drive off the glove of Dunston. Jeffries scores. Rounding third, Hollins, he scores. Phillies lead 5-3 on a bases. 0-2 pitch. Bouncing ball, Duncan has it. Oh, he drops it, but it drops right to Stocker for a force-on bullet to end the ball game. Baseball gods must love the fight. And the Phillies now have established an all-time National League record, going the most games at the beginning of a season without losing 2 in a row.
That's a remarkable achievement for a team that so many questioned in the spring, and a very bright moment in the long history of Veterans Stadium. Let's look back on a little of that history. 1972 was a dismal year at the Vet, except for every fourth day when Steve Carlton turned in the most remarkable virtuoso pitching performance I've ever seen. On a bad ball club, he won 27 games of the team's 59 wins. Incredible.
In 72, I really thrived on all the work. I was in a tremendous groove. I was so incredibly focused mentally. I was just so entrenched. Never looked at the hitter, I was wired. The team rallied and played such a wonderful game of defense, and we made the best of the situation. It had limited ability at that time,
The stadium had its first hero and a small glimmer of the good times to come. 74 brought the arrival of a fresh-faced young man named Dave Cash, who brought a hot bat and a winning attitude. Yes, we can, he preached, and we believe. The Vet was getting to be a fun place to spend a summer night. 1975 saw the return of an old warrior. Dick Allen, who left the town under a dark cloud in the 60s, was lured out of retirement to help the team turn the corner. He was worried about the fans' response until his first at-bat. Philly fans proved that you can go home again. And in 76, they were rewarded with the team's first postseason appearance since my Whiz Kids in 1950. It was a true South Philly love-in. With the ball club seemingly on cruise control, we started out for our first West Coast trip of the season. Seems like I've spent most of my life on the road. It can be a good place if you know how to handle it. Sometimes you can bring the family along and get to know them a little bit better. Jim Fregosi spent most of his life on the road as well, and he never misses a chance to play dad. It's a needed break in what can be a grueling business. A little worry set in when the club dropped its first 5 games on the coast. But the ship quickly righted itself, winning the next 4.
Struck him out to end the ball game. Phillies sweep the series.
Still, it was a little bit unsettling when Lenny Dykstra had to go on the DL because of back problems. In the early going, it seemed like whenever we needed a hero, a new one would pop up. Just when it looked like a listless spell was about to set in, along came Tony Longmire.
Swing and a long drive, deep right, out of here, home run, Tony Longmire. Phils win 4-2 with 2 outs in the ninth. Man, oh man, what a clutch blow by Longmire.
On June 18th, Lee Thomas did it again. As insurance against Lenny's ailing back, Lee acquired Gold Glove outfielder Andy Van Slyke, who quickly paid dividends.
Slyke, a great shoestring catch. Hit to deep right center field, and this ball's out of here.
Here's a drive to deep left field.
Another outfielder, Tommy Marsh, had a big series as the Phils steamrolled the Mets.
Second time this year they swept a 4-game series on the road, and that's remarkable.
And he goes after another one to end the ball game. Heathcliff Slocum, it's his.
Then it was on to St. Louis, where they took 2 out of 3 and had the best road record in baseball. June 26 was a high water mark for the Phillies in '95. 19 games over 500 with a 5-game lead over the Braves. Then disaster struck.
Some people say the Phillies are the best team in the league. Some say the Reds are. Some say the Braves are. And we're going to see all 3 of them a lot this week.
Oh, brother.
Reggie Sanders got a hanger, and he didn't miss it. 12-3 pounding by the Reds was followed by a tight, well-pitched game.
Here's hot-hitting Reggie Sanders. Good move by Schilling, and Hollins missed the ball.
But sometimes even the smallest mistake can start the snowball rolling.
Here's the throw to third, and it's backed up, maybe. Gallagher can't get it, and he's going to score. Unbelievable.
And that was the only run of the game.
Stretch by Green, and the pitch is a balk. And that makes it 6-0 Cincinnati.
Kind of a chintzy call, really.
It's bad enough trying to beat the team in front of you.
Dalton has been ejected. This game is starting in very poor fashion for the Phils.
Reds made the series a laugher. And then came Atlanta looking for revenge.
Look at that. And now Darren Dalton is going to give Relaford a little heat and show him where that was. And he threw him out of the game. Boy, that was really quick.
They say it's a game of inches. In the middle of a losing streak, the inches start to go against you.
And it's now a 10-0 ball game.
And the crowd is booing, and rightly so. This is ugly.
The Braves left town only one game behind and on their way to an incredible second half. Unfortunately, the Phils were headed in the other direction. On the last game before the All-Star break, the steady Slocum lost a 3-run lead in the 9th. Then with the bases loaded in the 12th and 13th inning, they still couldn't score.
For one, relay double play.
It was one of the worst defeats in recent memory around here and made me think back to a terrible game back in '77. I guess if you're going to relive some silver moments, you've got to remember some black ones too. It was October 7th, Game 3 of the LCS versus the hated Dodgers. With Carlton set to pitch the next day, a Phillies win would almost guarantee a pennant. As the game started out, the Phillies fans again rose to the occasion. They rattled veteran pitcher Bert Hooton so badly he had to leave. Dodger great Dusty Baker remembers the scene.
Bert was a little, I got a little flustered. It was ball after ball, and I was like, oh no. Oh, and the fans are all over us.
The Phils and Dodgers always played each other tough, and this game was no different. But with a 2-run lead with 2 outs in the 9th, it looked like money in the bank for the Phillies.
All Philadelphia held its breath. Somewhere the gods of fate were laughing as Luzinski's throw bounced away from Sizemore. The tying run moved to third. Lope's screamer kicked off Schmidt's glove to a startled Larry Boa. The season's most crucial play had gone against Philadelphia.
Funny how two old foes remember things so differently.
Davy Lopes was out at first.
Davy Lopes, I don't know about that. I thought he beat you by a stride.
That was the bleakest night in vet history. The next day, the game was played in a steady rain. With their spirits shattered, the pennant washed away. Oh well, on to better things. Lenny Dykstra was voted by the fans to start in his 3rd All-Star game.
Most appearances by a Phillies outfielder in All-Star games. 4 by my partner and Greg Luzinski.
It was a real privilege to start in those days. All I had to beat out was Willie Mays and Duke Snyder. Brings back some nice memories of my own.
American League is up on the 2nd inning. Score tied at 1-1. Chico Carrasquel at bat. Ferris Spain is on third as Robin Roberts pitches. Ball drops into short center field. Richie Ashburn scoops it up. He rifles it into Campanella, and Ferris Spain is out at the plate.
In 1976, the Vet hosted the All-Star game, and Philadelphia really showed its colors. The Phillies put 5 players on the squad that was to face Detroit's rookie phenom, Mark the Bird Fidrich. The Nationals weren't too intimidated by the Bird's antics.
I remember Pete Rose coming up to me and saying, I hope he doesn't talk to that ball when I hit because I'm starting this game off with a base hit. And it was unbelievable. He led the game off. and he started talking to the ball and fixing the dirt, and the first ball he hit was a line drive that almost took his head off.
Pete and the boys went on to a 7-1 romp over the American League, much to the delight of the hometown crowd. As in '76, the Phillies placed 5 players on the All-Star team. First-timers Slocum, Green, and Morandini were on cloud 9 as they joined baseball's elite. Mickey even took a few home movies, just so he could share the memories with his new son, Jordan.
There's the phenom, right there. Okay, good. Thank you.
The All-Star Game is a 2-day whirlwind for the players. It's a chance to observe up close the guys you're trying to beat all year.
Walk in the locker room and see all these guys, you know, that you've been watching on TV for so long. And, you know, I said before, it felt like I was playing Nintendo. These are all the guys that were on my Nintendo baseball team, and all of a sudden I'm in the same room playing with them.
Nintendo, cellular phones, the game's changed, Harry. By the time the game was over, all the Phillies had played well. Slocum even got the win. And I'm sure that they all secretly wish for a spot on next year's team and a chance to shine at Veterans Stadium. The All-Star break is usually a time to regroup, a chance to catch your breath, but the Phillies couldn't seem to take in enough air.
Going on.
Hot shot spear by Brett Boone. Double play. What a...
Now it was the other team throwing the leather. The free fall continued, and by July 20th, they had lost 18 out of 22. I don't know what's worse, the way the team played or this god-awful music.
Hard to believe, Harry.
Now that's more like it. The Phillies decided to hold a night for me before the Hall of Fame ceremonies, but since I don't particularly care to talk about myself, I'll let someone else do it.
Well, let me tell you something about Whitey Ashburn. He was the best. I pitched against the Phillies a lot of times, and he was 3 for 4 off me a lot of times, but he had such back control that you could end up playing 4 guys on the left-hand side of the infield, and he'd get it through there somehow. He was great. He could run, steal a base. He was a hell of a ball player.
He was baseball's quintessential leadoff man. His career on-base percentage of .396 was 20 points higher than that of Pete Rose. Whitey was one of baseball's all-time great competitors. Finally, his whiteness gets his just due in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Thanks, guys. I was beginning to get a little nervous about the weekend in Cooperstown, and this ceremony was just the start of a long bout with goosebumps.
Just want to say, since I came here in 1948, best thing that ever happened to me, to play here in Philadelphia for the greatest band in the country.
If there's any question you have about any of the players that are injured.
Jim Fregosi likes to keep his finger on the pulse of fan sentiment.
Go ahead, young man. You want a question?
Why do the Phillies always lose?
It was clearly time to shake things up on the field. Sid Fernandez was acquired and quickly proved he had a lot of baseball left.
There it is, and he got it over. That ball.
Jeffries was moved from left to first. and the Phils finally gave up on the intense but erratic Dave Hollins.
I have no bitterness toward anybody. The front office people, they took care of me. They gave me my first chance to play, and I can sit up here and make a lot of excuses for myself. Bottom line is I was hitting .230. I wasn't producing the way I should produce when I play every day.
Say what you will about Davey, but I've never met a tougher competitor in all my years of baseball, and I wish him well. David was traded to Boston for a big, imposing outfielder, Mark Whitten. In his Phillies debut, however, it was his speed, not his size, that impressed. A watchful group in the video room tried to predict the future with the help of a rally clap.
Steals head first, slide, save! Come on, Charlie. If he's throwing out, he's throwing out. Still got. He got to catch the ball, make a big throw. And he got to glide, take a tag. Let's go.
Whitten off the move, the pitch is outside.
I called this. Did not call it. I called this. Call on the freaking steal base. Let's go. Come on, Chuck. We'll call what?
Caught it. So Whitten, line drive, base hit.
Chuck, you did it. Believe it. Anyway, Chuck.
The Phils win it 7-6 in 10 innings.
And this team desperately needed to win a game like that. It's been a long time, and Mark Whitten plays a big part in the ball game as he steals that base, gets a third on the error, and Charlie breaks the...
Stolen base, I call it.
That small group in the video room was a trio that made up one of the toughest bullpens in baseball. While Slocum spent much of the season leading the league in saves, it would have been difficult without the help of the setup men, rookies Toby Borland and Ricky Bottalico. These two came at you from all angles, with all kinds of nasty stuff. Going into the future, this area of the ball club seemed secure. On July 27th, Tony Longmire decided to create his own silver moment.
3-1 pitch, fastball, long drive. Watch this, baby. Way out of here. Into the upper deck.
He hit that ball into the upper deck left-handed off a left-hander.
And Tony Longmire has put the Phillies in front 6-4 with his third pinch hit home run of the year.
That's a scary home run, folks. And wouldn't you know it, he was hurt a few days later and would miss the rest of the year. By the time of the ALS auction, the season was already over for Lenny Dykstra, Curt Schilling, David West, and Bobby Munoz, all huge players in the Phils' preseason plans. At that point, however, my mind was on a small town in upstate New York and a rendezvous with my past. Maybe the greatest thing about Cooperstown is the town itself. An absolutely beautiful place. Real Norman Rockwell stuff. Kind of what the ideal picture of small-town America should be. Next to Tilden, Nebraska, that is. They put us up in a gorgeous old hotel called the Otis Saga, host to all the Hall of Famers for the past 60 years. Boy, if the walls of that place could talk. Then they let us play golf on a beautiful course next to the lake. The whole weekend you get treated like royalty. The other Hall of Famers were really great to me. Then there's a museum, the hall itself, where you can spend days reliving baseball memories. What a place.
Take this world championship and savor it, because you all deserve it.
In Philadelphia, baseball is a field of dreams. And this surely is heaven down here.
A small slice of heaven is nearby Doubleday Field, where each year an exhibition game is played. Last year, the Phillies played there during Lefty's induction.
Oh, thank you.
It's a ballpark like they all should be, where you're close enough to hear the players talking, and a home run goes into someone's backyard. This year, Bill Giles hosted a Hall of Fame party. Really quite special. You make so many friends in baseball, but it's rare to get them all together in one place. Thanks, Bill.
If I'll ever forget this.
Well
really.
deserved.
I guess the most impressive thing about the weekend had to be the fans. Everywhere we looked was red. Record numbers of buses flooded into this small town, and the Hall of Fame Museum had its best day ever. George Grand, the MC for the ceremony, hit it right on the head.
Now I know what Moses looked like when he looked at the Red Sea. This is a Philadelphia crowd today.
It was a breathtaking sight, and believe me, sitting on that stage, I was more than a little nervous.
One of the most popular athletes in the history of Philadelphia, Richie Ashburn.
But when I got up to speak, it just felt right. Kind of like I was just chatting with 30,000 of my best friends.
Can't believe the number of people here today. Happy to see it. Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, have a lot of Nebraska people here. One of them I have to introduce to you. Mom? 91-year-old mother.
I didn't have a prepared speech. I just wanted to acknowledge my family.
Ideally for me, this could have happened earlier because my father's passed away. Hang on. But on the other hand, our grandchildren are here. They wouldn't have been here 20 years ago.
I guess that's what it's all about, really. I had 4 generations of Ashburn sitting in front of me. And it's important we pass down the love and respect for the game to the next 4.
You have made this the greatest day of my life.
Schmitty's turn was next, and the crowd really responded. Michael prepared his speech with the same intensity in which he played, all out. He credited everyone who ever helped him and made a ton of suggestions about how to save the game. His delivery was as spellbinding as a Sunday preacher. But the true moment of joy for me was when he finally made his peace with the Phillies fans.
My relationships with Philadelphia fans has always been misunderstood. Can we put that to rest here today?
Nice going, Michael. They love you after all. Standing on that podium with Mike, holding that bronze plaque, was one of the greatest moments of my life. Don't need to say much more. As if to give one last encore to this Hall of Fame summer, the Phillies decided to honor Mike at the stadium in one final dramatic curtain call.
Richie and I will never forget the sight of some 30,000 Philadelphia sports fans spread across that meadow on that beautiful Sunday afternoon. Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much.
And seeing Mike paraded around the field made me think back to the glory years around here. The Phillies simply dominated the National League East from the mid-'70s on. Finally, in late October of 1980, they reached the promised land and touched off a party that no Phillies fan will ever forget.
The most spectacular thing I've ever seen in my years in sports is the parade after the 1980 World Series. I'll never forget how many people were in the streets.
But the good times weren't over. In '81, Pete Rose helped everyone forget the 51-day strike by breaking Stan Musial's all-time National League hit record. Soon after, Philadelphia got to witness Lefty become the all-time strikeout king of baseball, an honor he held till Nolan Ryan overtook him. Then in 1983, the Phillies finally got their revenge against the Dodgers. Gary Matthews' torrid bat took apart the Dodger Blue Bloods, as the Phils won their second pennant in 4 years. Meanwhile, it was time for the 1995 version to make a little history of their own. Trailing the Astros in the new wild card format by 6 games, the team was about to begin a long homestand against the West Coast teams. It would be a homestand for the books. Game 1, San Francisco, a power display.
He's not in a slump on that swing. That is a bomb into the blue seats, upper deck shot, Barry Bonds. Robbie Thompson tries to dial one up and does.
Boy, look out tonight. This is like playing a game at Wrigley Field or at Denver tonight.
Smokes one to center field. Are you kidding me? Way out of here. I'm telling you, that was a bomb to center field, wind or no wind.
Not Terry Mulholland.
See, there's also a thing about every blind squirrel is bound to find a nut. And I'm that blind squirrel, and last night was my big nut.
Take a ride on that. Let's see where this one comes down. Wow. Upper deck. What a night this is. I've never seen anything like this. Look at this. Take a ride on that one, too. Out of here. Home run, Charlie Hayes, and it is long ball night at the vet at 6-6. This is amazing. Fanatic knows a lot of balls are headed out that way tonight, so he's ready.
52. Fly ball hit the center field deep. Sanders going back. Out of here. Home run, Kevin Elster. Makes you want to go down there and grab a bat the way these balls are sailing out of here.
The 2-1 pitch. Long drive, deep left field. First major league home run for Kevin Flora.
I'm out of here, Harry. I'm going down and grab a bat. I mean, I was serious.
25 years Veterans Stadium has been alive, and on this night, more home runs have been hit than any other in the history of the stadium, and Kevin Flora breaks the record.
Now let's see. Who's the team historian?
How does it feel to be part of history when we had about 9 home runs, I think it was? I mean, and being part of history, how does it make you feel?
Well, it feels pretty good, you know, considering the fact that I started the whole thing, for us, that is, for our team to get ignited. It feels pretty good.
Mark Whitten was a guy who provided some badly needed power to the Phillies lineup. And speaking of power...
Swing and a long drive. Watch this, baby. Way out of here. Home run, Mickey Morandini, and the Phillies lead it 5-4.
The next game was decided on a Mickey Morandini homer. What can you say about this kid? Every year in the big leagues, he has improved, to the point where now he's a legitimate all-star and the guy Fregosi called his MVP on the team.
He picks on the first pitch and drives it right on out. Oh, whoa, take a ride on that one. Wow, upper deck.
Sunday's game was a real barn burner, crackling with excitement.
Tops it off the plate. Charlie Hayes charges throw.
Charlie Hayes, a magnificent play.
Everybody wants to be a broadcaster.
Oh, speared by Matt Williams, a screaming line drive and a double play.
Guys had been getting on Jeffries all year about his antics after making an out.
Sure. Natural state of being after you make an out.
I love it.
Is how you have the ability to pull these antics out on the field, and sometimes it looks like you're upset, but we know you're really not.
Well, I think the play you're talking about was a line drive I hit the mat.
Yes, it was.
I jumped up because I was so excited about the play he made. I was so happy he came back in the lineup that I was so ecstatic that here's a Gold Glove guy. Everyone wanted to see him make a great play, and he did. And I was just jumping up and down because I was happy for him to make that great play.
Okay, we have further footage of that. And
suddenly, more power from unexpected sources.
Kevin Jordan's first Major League home run. Well hit, fair or foul. It is a fair ball. Out of here. Home run, Kevin Flora. Well hit to deep right. It's got a chance. Out of here. Kevin Stocker, his first home run of the year. This game is retied at 7-7.
And Jeffries winded in the 10th with a mighty blow.
He dribbles it softly, and this game is over. It'll be a hit for Jeffries, an infield single.
If you weren't paying attention, those 3 home runs were all hit by guys named Kevin.
My name is Kevin Stocker. I'm speaking with Kevin Flora, Kevin Jordan. When I got up to read the paper today, on the front page of the paper, Kevin Flora's picture was on the paper. So I thought, oh, that's kind of nice for him. Well, when I got to the back page of the paper, well, there was Kevin Flora again. I figured, man, this guy, who's he paying off? Well, then I opened it up, and there he is again. So I want to know how you guys felt when you saw me hit my home run.
Sure.
There it is, folks. They loved it. They loved the great home. Goodbye, everybody.
Now the Phils were on a roll. Sid Fernandez pitched a gem against the Padres on his way to becoming Pitcher of the Month in August. That gave the Phillies 2 of the 5 Pitchers of the Month for the year. Amazing. Next, it was Jim Eisenreich's turn to shine.
He's big around here. Jim Eisenreich, maybe you've heard him, folk hero of the Phillies, big man on campus. Tell me, Jim, what's it like to have the reaction of those fans every single time you come up to the plate? Jim Eisenreich, what's that like?
Pretty awesome. You know, it feels like I got to hit a home run every time I get up there.
1 pitch, swing and a well-hit ball. This might be a slam. It is. Grand slam, home run, Jim Eisenreich.
Here's a guy that's a true folk hero in this city, admired for his quiet approach to the game and respected for his conquering of Tourette's syndrome. Izzy is one of the best loved athletes in Philadelphia.
Oh, here's another shot.
Every season seems to have at least one classic game. Like the night in '85 when Von Hayes hit 2 home runs in the first inning as the Phils dropped 27 runs on the Mets. Or the following year when they had to sweep the Mets to stop them from clinching at the Vet. Or the night they came back from the dead against the Giants.
I can't believe it. The Phillies have won 3-2 in the bottom half of the 12th inning. Incredible. Swing and a base hit to left center field.
And who can forget Mitch Williams' big hit in the wee hours of the morning?
On an RBI hit by Mitchie Poo. Can you believe it?
In '95, August 25th stands out as the game. It was a long-awaited coming of Nomomania. Hideo Nomo, the Dodgers' Japanese phenom, had wowed the league for the entire season. All eyes in the dugout were on him as he twisted into his mysterious windup. Greg Jeffries wasted little time in letting him know the mystery was solved.
Swing and a well-hit ball to deep right. Height to the line. It's out of here. Into the Phillies bullpen. Home run, Greg Jeffries.
Jeffries had his own agenda. In his next at-bat, he got a triple.
Jeffries goes into third, 4-0 Phillies.
And then slashed a single. By now, Nomo was no more. And Phil's pitcher, Jeff Juden, decided to steal the spotlight.
Sends a fly ball deep to right field, way back, it is gone! A grand slam home run for Jeff Juden, his first Major League home run, and the Phillies now lead it 14-2.
Not to be outdone.
Here's the pitch, and here's a shot down the left field line. It's gone to the corner. Here goes Jeffries race for second. He's got a double and the cycle.
Mr. Jeffries, write your name in the history books.
Well, that's some accomplishment. You know, they'll probably want that ball, I would think.
The funny thing was, his skipper had accomplished that feat twice in his career and let Greg know about it right after the fact.
You only got to do it once more at a time.
It was a night when the vet was truly electric. And as a beautiful punctuation mark to this great game, Greg found out his wife Mel had gone into labor.
Oh, now you want to run. I thought they were kidding. No, I knew you was going to think I was kidding. That's why I did, especially coming from you. That's why I said I'm going to tell him.
It seems baby Madison just wanted to come out and get in on all the fun.
You're going to get a sister and I think.
Hey, who could blame her? Speaking of children, the Phillies must have set some kind of record when 8 players and even the manager had new arrivals in '95. I guess that extended off-season was good for something. And speaking of kids, there are some good ones on the horizon. The minor leagues enjoyed their best overall winning percentage since 1980. And the AA Reading Phillies, a team loaded with prospects, won their league championship. The future looks bright. By the time the homestand ended, we were half a game up in the wild card standings. But the normal game also had a downside. Dutch Dalton tore up his knee and would miss the rest of the season. It was one injury too many. The club limped into the month of September with a lot of heart, but not enough guns. The Phillies used a club record 50 players this year. 26 of those were pitchers, another record. In a way, I guess you have to give Lee Thomas credit for just finding 26 big league arms. That's something he's always had a knack for, finding a pitcher that didn't fit in with another organization and bringing him here to win. One such pitcher was Terry Mulholland, who created a brilliant silver moment in 1990.
Line drive, break grab! Charlie Hayes spears it, and Mulholland has pitched a no-hit, no-run game at Veterans Stadium. The first 9-inning no-hitter in the history of the bat.
Oh, it was awesome. Going out on the field and the number of people who were still in the stadium, still, you know, it was almost like they were looking for more, wanting more. And you don't get that often in a lifetime.
That was an awesome night, Terry. It seemed like the start of another great era at the Vet, as the next year the fans witnessed an exciting winning streak that vaulted the team back to respectability.
1-2 pitch, curveball hit on the ground. Great grab, Charlie Hayes bounces the throw. He got him, and the Phillies have won 13 in a row. The lucky 13.
It all came together in '93 when a rowdy gang of veteran throwbacks brought the pennant back home.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Phillies are the '93 National League champions. This wacky, wonderful bunch of throwbacks has won the National League pennant.
That was what was a lot of fun, was the fact that everybody in here was doing the same thing we were doing. You know, it was like one big party. That was a tremendous feeling.
The '93 season served as an important reminder as to the beauty of the sport, that in any given season, dreams can come true. So what of the '95 Phillies? Well, they may have been down, but they're not out.
Here we go. 2 runs, right?
Yeah.
As long as there's still a lot of little boy left in the players, there will always be more silver moments on the horizon. The team still has a solid veteran nucleus, a fine defense, and strong young bullpen. And we're just around the corner from getting help from the minors. With a few breaks, maybe next year we can get off to a strong start and sustain it. But more importantly, it's time to give the game back to the fan. I know of no other organization in baseball that is more fan-friendly than the Phillies. And the reason is simple. Through thick and thin, the fans have always been there. They were there at Cooperstown, and they've been there for the last 25 years. The players know it, and management knows it. Phillies fans are the best in the game. Baseball will survive these tough times. The game's just too good. And I know that the next 25 years of baseball in Philadelphia will be even better than the last.
Pitch. McBride bounces one into right field, base hit. Rose rounding second is going to third. And he's going to try and score! And he does! Oh, brother! Pete Rose scoring from first on a single!
McGraw takes a deep breath, gets his sign, he winds. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out! Struck him out, and that's the ball game. The Phillies win it 3-2 in 10 innings. And they are in first place.